Lizzy with Daunting Gamers, and today I'm going to be talking about Gutenberg. I'll go over how to play really quick and minor variations for how to play remotely, and then we'll go on to what I think about it. Okay, so here we have Gutenberg. The first thing you want to do is you want to shuffle and separate all of the different decks of cards. The ones that have these are used for the automa player, so if you're not playing a 1 or 2 player game, you can go ahead and put these back in the box. What I do is the side running the game, they are the side that they for sure have a copy, which I'd recommend all sides having a copy of this. They will set these out for player count. So this is a setup for a 3-player game. So they'll bring these out and put these in the indicated areas, skipping the one that says 4. And if you are playing a 2-player game, just remember that you are playing on the other side. So then what the running side will do is take a picture of those and send it to the other side so that these can be matching. These are the only cards that you worry about matching for remote play, otherwise just too chaotic. So the next thing that you do for setup is you grab each one of these out for every player. I do keep track of them because it makes going through the different phases easier. You would give one of these to each player, give them their cubes, and I just go top down and just put all the cubes in, and then we can go to what actually happens later. For the rest of this is each side will be in charge of their own, and you'll be playing basically like an elimination, kind of like what the automa player does in the automa rules. So for the rest of the setup, you do need to grab 3 of these. I only grabbed 3 for me because that's all I care about. I don't track theirs, so I only grab mine, and then I only track my money, so I grabbed 10. Instead of setting up like normal for step 3, where you have these go out, I follow the solo rules. So you grab 5 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. These are printing cards and these are refinement cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And then you just go through and choose which ones you want. So maybe I would want these 2 because they use the exact same, so that'd be easy. Or maybe I'd want something like this and this, so that way I could get them done in one round after another. And then I could discard those. And then comes the refinement. I look at these. These are requirements for completing. They're really high for some of these, so I might choose something like this that is kind of a low one and put that there. And then this is the next step up from there, so I might put that right there, so that way I can have 2 sets to go. And then I will fill up my board, and it doesn't matter what side is running and what side is the remote side. Each side will set up theirs by themselves because it'll be too much of a pain to go through and sort this deck out, in my opinion. You could go through and organize them maybe by, you know, if an A's in there and divided by A, 2 letters and 3 letters and 4 letters, but I just find it easier to just do player elimination. And then we will put one of these out for every one of these. And of course, noting that we're not filling the 4s. And then for the gears, we will put the gears out as well. And then I will, one final note, this is a game component thing. The game comes with these cardboard tokens for the ink. I find these rather unsatisfying to play with. So I went on Etsy and I got nice inks. So I will just pull these out. Okay, and if I grab an extra one, I'll just put it back in the bag. If you really want to play it, you could organize the running side would have the bag like normal, and then each remote side would organize by color, and then you could pull them out. But again, I find this much easier. Okay, so then we are mostly set up. The other thing is, if you want to, this is the box that contains the pieces for the people. So you would just shuffle them up and grab 2, and then you would choose 1. Don't worry about if you have the same powers as another player. It doesn't really matter. So I might choose to do this one so that I can do have one ink be a random color. So That requires me to take, usually it's just 2 ink things that are double-sided that are bigger. But I have pretty inks. So we are all set up. We have the board set up. We have this set up. We have every player's pieces. I put them on 0, set mine up like normal, set Brooks's and Kitty's up like normal. And then the spare one, instead of having it just by the player's board, I put them here. That way when you do mark which one you take, you can just move it over, whoever does it. And then one last thing, you get 3 of these really nice wooden things, which considering I have this to do, I will grab an A, an O, and a U, if I can find it. There we go. A, O, and U. Now we are ready to start. So of course we have dictated who is first player, second player, and third player. So you get your screen, and you will just do everything on the screen. So the first thing first is turning gears. So if we had a gear here, we would just turn this first one until these 2 mark a new one, because whichever one are in there is the ones that you can activate. Obviously, first round, we're not going to have a gear. So then we will plan, and that's the same as in person. You just determine where you want to spend your actions. If you want to really get one of these specifically, you might want to put one up there. But if you leave one blank, you don't get to do that action. Once everyone has done what they've moved around in person, of course you're doing this behind the player board, but then everyone says that they're done. Something I do for remote play is we will go through and I will say I have 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, and then Brooksy, he might choose to do something more like this. So he would go 1, 3, 1, 1, 2, and every side is updating this as we go. And Kitty might really want some of these. So she might be 3, 3, 1, 1, 1. So that way we can each know what the priority level is for every player to help the game move on a little bit faster. Then what we do is we will just execute the board from top to bottom. This one is first, so we look at whoever has the most. So Kitty has the most, she has 3. So normally, whoever's in person would just take which ones they want, right? Well, say these are the 2 that Kitty really wants. She would say she's going to take the 3rd of the printing and the 3rd from refinement. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So we take these and I just put them in the discard pile. Don't even keep track of them. And then it'll be my turn. So I know I need an A and I and O already, so maybe I'll do this one. I want this one. And maybe I'd want this one. So I will say that I will take 1 printing and 2 from refinement. So I'll do that and put those in my area over here. It's kind of off the board, but the other sides of the board have these, so I'll just put those together. And also to note, once you do combine these are inseparable. You have to complete them together or you don't get to complete them. So then we go ahead and go on to the inks, which Brooksy and Kitty are tied. So it goes player order. So first, second, third. So Brooksy gets to go first. So he might say that he has to choose an ink thing. So, 1, 2, or 3. So he might say that he wants to go the 3rd and he'll take the 1st and the 2nd. So he will pay 1. I'll just put these back into the bag. A note about the ink is these are limited. It does throw off the balance a teeny tiny little bit on this aspect, but it's not noticeable. So then Kitty will go. She could spend 2 to get this yellow, or she could come over here and get some. So she might go, okay, I want this red, and yellow. So she will go 1 and she will pay 3 to get all 3. Okay, so then it comes to me and yay, I can use some blue and some gray, and I need a yellow, but I need blue and gray more. So I might go ahead and go to the second one, and I'm going to go easy. I'm just going to spend 1. So I will grab my 2 ink, take my 5 coin, and grab 2 more out of here. Then we move on to this next phase. Looks like we are all the same. It's 1 and 1, so I'd be first because I'm first player. So you could either take one of these and move up the track on both of them. So you'd move up A twice, each of those once, Or you could take one and just move up any of your choice one. So considering I have a lot of A's that need to be up, I think I'm going to go ahead and take this double A. So I will say I'm going to take the number 1, and then I will move mine up twice over here. So this is the same on all players, so I just moved my A up twice. And then it will be Brixby, so he would say, okay, I'll take number 3. And then Kitty, of course, will take the 2. Okay, gears, same thing as up here. We are all tied, so I will go first. So I don't have a lot of red, so I might not want that. Don't really have that. So maybe I'll take this. I'll get to activate. This gives you victory points per round. So if I activate it 3rd and 6th, so I'll want to have this be the first. So I'll place that there. And then Brix might say he wants 1 and Kitty with 2, 2. And then these just get discarded. And then finally we come down here. So this one, the first 2 rounds you can only do these. Starting with the 3rd on, you can start grabbing these. So these are each ones that you can do, but they can only be claimed once. So Brix is first, so he might say, okay, well, I will go ahead and take the upgrading A thing. Oh, and then Kitty and I are tied, so then I get to go. Oh, and Brixie is white. So they go, okay, well, I really need ink. So I might go ahead and the 2 ink. And then that's when I go into the bag and just grab out whichever 2 colors I want, which, blue and yellow. Okay, and then Kitty, she'll say, okay, I want 3 money. She wants some money. And then at the end of the round, you can turn in these pairs and get what they say. Also, anytime for a free action, it doesn't cost an action, you can buy one of these presses for the numbers. So basically, it's on here. It's however many you have. So you have 3. So if you want to get a 4th one, it would cost you 4. If you want to get a 5th one, it would cost you 5. So I know I need an I, so I might as well get that. So I'll just turn in a 5, grab a 1, and grab this I. So that way next time I can include this. These you keep your presses, so you don't ever use those up. So I can just transfer them to somewhere else. And these aren't set in stone. These are just kind of my guidelines for where they are. Your ink, however, just goes back in the bag. And then this, you just have to be at that level in order to be able to get that bonus. So this one, it's pretty much always money. So I would get 3 money from that one. Completing that, yay. And then these, so yeah, so that's the symbol for money that you get. And then this is the symbol for victory points. So the money actually has that same symbol on the money itself. So that's how I remember it. And then the victory points, if you notice your track, it's kind of a vine. So your victory points shows a vine. So once you complete that, you just put it in the discard. For this, if I complete this, I get that. If I complete this, I get that. If I complete both, I do get this bottom bonus. So like this bonus, I would just get to choose to move 1 up. This is I get another ink. So I would get 4 victory points because my A is at 2 and I turned in a blue ink. So I'd get 4. And then I would get to, because I completed both, I get to grab an ink. I'll grab a red one, why not? What will happen is because you're all selling together, Brix and Kitty will update at the very end what theirs are. So maybe Brix is at 7 and Kitty is at 9, for instance. So that'd be the end of round 1. So round 2, we move this over. We bring these all the way over here just for that. And then you rotate your gears. Now the cool thing with these gears is in future rounds, you'll have more of these. So once you rotate one, it rotates the other one, which is really cool. So then you get whatever it says. And then once you do use it, you are supposed to put that little thing there. So then it's the new round. We fill these up, take these away, take these away. And then we fill everything up, go through the same thing. Starting in the 3rd round, we can claim anything that's under this. So whoever is first to claim this would take it and put it in their supply. And then 4th round has access to those. Now, if no one claimed this in the 3rd round, in the 4th round, you can also claim it. So, but once they're done, they're gone. So at the end of the 5th round, that's the end of the game. And you move this over here, and then here is the scoring. The first thing up is however far you get one of your tokens up, you get victory points, which also, the first time you pass one of these with an arrow, you'll move your thing over one, and then you'll get whatever benefit is underneath. But if you get up to the 4, 5, or 6, you get 1, 3, or 6 victory points for everyone. So if yours looked something like this, then you would get 4 victory points for those two. And then every one of these cards is worth 8 points. And then your leftover money is a 3 for 1, so you get 1 victory point for every 3 money. One thing to note is when you are moving from round to round, this first player does move. So what would happen first is Brixie and Kitty would give me a cube each. And then this would pass to Brixby, because he was next in player order. And then for the 3rd round, Kitty and I would each give this to Brixby. And then this would pass to Kitty. And this goes around and around and around. Okay, so that is Gutenberg. Definitely a Euro game because you're wanting to get the most victory points possible. So what do I think about it in general? I do really enjoy it. Most of the components are amazing. The only issue I really have is with this ink, because it's not a desirable feel, as well as it's not colorblind friendly. And I still have the issue with these inks, although I think that the original printing was green, so they went to a gray, so I think that helps with the red-green colorblind, which is the most common. But I don't know how they would be able to make these different, because they need to feel all the same. But maybe if they did, like, put a yellow or blue, whatever on there, that might help. But not sure how to fix that one. And then the only other thing I had is these boxes are so nice. They're gorgeous. I love them. But the gears didn't have any, so I actually have another box that I used to put my gears in. I just wish that there was a box like this that I could put the gears in. And then these reference screens are very nice. They go through the sequence of play very well. The hardest one to remember is turning the gears. But then it goes through it. It shows the different symbols, what they mean. The hardest one to get through people's heads for some reason is the money versus the victory points. But once you realize, hey, the money has that little symbol that's the same on the actual money as it is on the board. And it is a vine, so there are vines right here on the victory points. It does make sense. So victory points is that one, and money is that one. So that makes sense to me. I know some people do struggle with that one, but vine victory. There we go. And then the other thing that's kind of hard to grasp your concepts around is moving these cubes so that, this one should be, so that everyone has the number of things, and then moving the first player. But that's just because everyone has different amounts. So first player, you get to break the ties if you are tied with someone else, but you have less cubes. The first player only has 7 cubes, while the third player has 9. So you get 2 more cubes to dictate what you want to do. So you could easily beat someone out and still be able to do every action. So I do like that. So the push and pull of, I really, really, really want these inks. But could I get away with just having 3 there? So if I could just get away with having 3 there, I could put, more of these. And I don't really care about these. I still want them because I want to get the benefit. So I'll keep 1 there. But I really care about these 2. So just that push and pull, I really like that concept. The rule book is really nicely written. It's very clear, has pretty pictures throughout, nice graphics. Very clear gears and characters. It has a spot for the origins of printing and biographies for the characters that come in. And there is a promo pack that you can get that you even get stickers to put in the rule book, and they planned for that. So they had spots in the actual rule book to put the biographies as well as the benefits for those two people. Although this one was supposed to go down there, I just didn't want to cover up the picture. So I cut it and put it up there. But the rule book is very nice. I do really enjoy how well and thought out that rule book is. You could get this translated. This is pretty much a language independent game. It's basically just the symbols and going through the motions for each of these ones. And it's very clear, you know, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So that's very clear on there. You would just want this to be translated. And once you do translate it, it's not, I don't look at this really anymore. I'll look at it, the sequence of play to remind me, okay, that's what happens. We have to turn gears at the first, because for some reason I never want to turn my gears, ever. And then this, so it's kind of a nice reminder that if you have 4 and you want a 5th one, it costs 5 money. So having that on there just, I mean, it makes sense. It's very well thought out though, because you can put it right here and just put your hands over it and move stuff around. Obviously, if you're in a tight area, it doesn't have much covered. It's not, you know, super big, so it's not super protruding. So then once you're done, you can just take it down and use it as a reference. And I do like how there is artwork on these. It's really cute. They're just really pretty things. Just nice little touches. Instead of it just being blank, could have been, it just shows different things and it has different backgrounds. Makes you feel like you're in a printing press. So this theme actually does mean a lot to me. I was raised Lutheran, so Martin Luther and the 95 Thesis got, you know, a chance to get rolling because the printing press was able to replicate those 95 Theses multiple times so that many people could read them. And I do really love, even though I forget to do it, I do love this gear turning. Just turning one turns them all. I'm a sucker for that. So that's what I really love. And I feel like this game is a game that provides enough for really deep strategy players that want to get in there and just play a game and just really try to, okay, I really, really want to get these inks and these inks work best and these presses, and I want to get these letters and I want to do this one and then that one and then this other one, while it still provides a really great entry level. So someone who hasn't been really familiar with games can pick this up. Maybe a round or two, they would really get to know it. I think after their first game, they would be much better off. But it's not a super hard struggle. But I do rate this a 9 out of 10. I really do adore this game. If anyone happens to know any wooden ink pieces, that's what I would really like to get, is wooden ones. Because this is just, you know, a really great environmentally friendly game, because there was no plastic on this other than the plastic wrap for the game, because all of it came with these boxes. The stuff was in the boxes. So I'm really impressed with the packaging of this, with the artwork. It doesn't have to be boring, even though, you know, printing presses, who would think that that would be an interesting game? But this board really does show prettiness for what the theme is. Like, you have these, you have your inks over here. I do really enjoy it. So yeah, so if this game speaks to you, go ahead and go check it out. And until next time, just remember to have fun, be present, and be you. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you find value in our content, please like, comment, or subscribe. Let a friend or family member know that we exist. Help us spread our channel and bring remote gaming to a table near you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.